All right. And we're going to go ahead and start getting the thing sent out. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. It is the Freelancer here, and playing my next playthrough. We are doing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So I'm gonna go through a bunch of this because I'm pretty sure there's a streamer mode in here. Alright, I don't think there is any actual, streamer mode stuff. No? Okay, I'm going to go in assuming that this game is fine. Just as a precautionary, I'm going to turn the music down. I'll get the dialogue volume down. Because this game is loud. But 40k is loud in general. Alright, so that stuff is sorted. I'm going through all my stuff. So yeah, we are playing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Checking. We're going to be doing a playthrough of this one because much like Bolt Gun, which we do have the playthrough going for that, there is a new. The first DLC is coming out for Rogue Trader. I do not remember exactly when or if it got announced when it's coming, but I do know it's happening. And there we go. Sorry, I'm a little tired, so dragging today. So a little bit of drag today, but just a Rogue Trader and get in on this. I have played a fair bit of this. I think I've played up to the 3rd chapter. I want to say I've played up to the 3rd chapter in this game. Maybe. But this is a fun one. I actually very much enjoy this game. This is a very fun game. It's a very cool game. Of course, I liked Kingmaker, though Kingmaker had its faults. Never go into the spider cave. At least don't go in if you don't have AoE stuff. We're gonna play some Rogue Trader. Some point, I've actually got my Discord open for it, but at some point, I will be joined by my good buddy Christo for part of this playthrough. So hopefully he will be able to join in before we get in on the action. I know he said he was not home at the moment. Um, I'll go ahead and post it in here in case he doesn't see it, or that way he has it rather. Cause I don't know if he's on my follower list or not. But very excited about this one because compared to the last couple games I've played, this one has a much more aimless objective. It's one of those like narrative RPG games. It's one of those like tactical narrative RPGs. Um, it's actually a very fun one. I'll run through a lot of the customization stuff that we can go through in this. Like to opt in. So, I thought I already did this. Whatever. I don't care. I'm dumb little I'm dumb American. I don't care enough. Um, we can't actually bump up the difficulty. I think I played this one on normal before. Um, I think we'll go daring just for a decent challenge. Because this one gets pretty challenging anyway, but this is actually a pretty good, um, a pretty good way to get my, I guess tackle CRPGs. That's right. It's not a narrative tactical. It's a CRPG. Um, that's what it is. We're not gonna go in the other like main setting stuff. We're just gonna go scenario. Playing on daring. Scenario. The main story. For those who aren't aware, you take up the mantle of a rogue trader, the scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of von Valencius as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, out as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of this shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the Von Valencius dynasty. Currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. Stakes are high and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Coronis expanse. Alright. Right. We'll go daring, like I said. I'm not going to change any of these other settings. Alright, what's wrong? Are the changes here? Hang on. um, mm, we'll go normal. I'm not about to risk stressing over this one because this is going to be a much longer campaign than what I've done in the past already. Um, so we'll go ahead with this. We're not going to do any of the preset characters. Custom character next. So now we get the portrait. There would be some custom portraits I could do, but I'm not about to play with them. Um, I think this was the one I did last time. Is this one or this one? I want to say it was this one. Guess it'll depend on what I want to do. There's a lot of options. We have the portraits, of which there are quite a few. Sorry, my brain I think just kind of stuttered there for a second. I'm gonna disappear real quick and go grab a drink. Just sitting here getting myself ready. Give me a water. Okay. I think looking at all these, this one's probably my favorite looking at all these. This one or this one, and I think I like this one more. I don't know. Suave man dude. He looks cool. And I won't lie. Nope. Discussing that kind of talk is heresy. We're not heretics. Well, we are, actually, but maybe not in this playthrough. Or any of the previous playthroughs. I want to actually do some army painting streams at some point. We need some model painting streams in the future. I think that's actually something I'd like to do. I know I'm doing a lot of like 40k Warhammer and 40k content, but I just like the universes for fantasy and 40k. Not so much Age of Sigmar. I don't really care for Age of Sigmar that much. It's just kind of dumb. It just seems like they spray painted 40k, so just kind of seems like they spray painted some 40k elements through fantasy. I don't know if that's just me. Other people can probably feel that way too, I'm sure, but that's just me. I don't know. Let's start looking at appearances. I gotta look at the face. I like that. I like that one. That's not bad. Okay. That one. D. No. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah. Maybe. Oh, that one. Alright. Very gruff look. Kinda like it. Softer? Is that just a softer look of this one? Kinda. Meh. Like the more gruff appearance. Now we're cool like this. That is paste, my dude. I'm fine with this one. Going into here. Meh. Do I want to go weathered old man look? Maybe. That frizz don't look good for that, for what I'm going for. That hair might actually look good, thinking about it. That one might actually be kind of cool. Give him red hair or brown hair? Ooh. I actually kind of like the red hair. Do like those, bro. Yeah, red hair. Now the beard. Aggressively pirate. That, can we get that with the mustache? I kind of like it. I don't know why, but I do. Yeah, we'll go with this. Tattoos. Mm, maybe. Maybe with that one. Do that. Tattoo number 2. Can I? Number 3. Are there any good imperium sleeves? I don't think there's a very imperial sleeve. That's very very chaos fueled. I don't know if this one is actually a good one or not. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's doing a thing. All the sleeves gotta be bad. Well, it's not even that they're bad. They don't have many that aren't, like, chaos fueled. Yeah, that's what it is. They're all chaos fueled. Mm, opposite eye. There we go. Um, do I want to give him anything else? No. No. Alright. Mm-hmm. Mm, we'll get that one for the first one. And do we have any for the eyes? No augmented eyes. Guys, come on. Really? Uh, um, can we get that effect, but on the opposite side? Damn it. Middle nose plate. I actually kind of like that. Get the whole, like, iron jawline. I think the first one has to get changed, though, if we do that one. Um, get that, or we get one of the, like, small little bolt pip things. We could do that. I kind of like it. His butt ugly, I think. Maybe? No. He's not that bad. The whole nose thing. No. No, I really don't want to do the whole nose thing. You want the mini bolts. See, I thought you could get an augmented eye. No, you couldn't, but that's unfortunate. That's okay and unfortunate.
I'll see you terminated. Time to reap the spoils of the battle.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody I'm not picking anything else except pragmatic male, because pragmatic male is the one I like the most. So this is our character's appearance. I say he pretty cool. He pretty good. He's pretty cool looking, pretty good looking, handsome man. Handsome man. Um. So now we get to choose what our home world is. So we have Death World, Voidborn, Hive World, Forge World, Imperial World, and Fortress World. Death World. On Death World, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. Whilst exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. So here's where we start gaining some actual statistical changes. Before I go into all this, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna go get me like an Advil or something. Head is killing me. Okay, we're all good. Got some ibuprofen. We're good. All right. So you have the survival instinct feature with the Death Worlds. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drop below 30%, they gain plus 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. Death World characters also gain a plus 20% bonus to dodge and armor while they have at least one temporary wound from any source. So they're in lore, Death Worlds are very Death World inhabitants are very sturdy, long lasting. Um, made to um, made to last is the best way to go about it with Death World people. Um, so you have strength. So some of the stats of this affects it affects strength, which describes how physically strong a character is. It affects the damage a character inflicts with melee weapons. It allows them to lift heavier objects. For each bonus point of strength, characters deal 5% more damage with one-handed melee weapons. For two-handed melee weapons, this bonus is doubled to 10% additional damage for each point of strength bonus. It also affects the athletic skill. Toughness finds how easily a character can shrug off pain, as well as how easily they can resist toxins, poisonous environments, diseases, and other physical ailments. Increases the chances of resisting negative physical effects. Oh, shit. Negative physical effects. And the amount of a character's wounds. For each bonus point of toughness, characters gain plus 10% wounds. Also affects the coerce skill. Agility. Agility measures a character's quickness, reflexes, and poise. High agility allows a character to manipulate delicate explosives with finesse or to keep their footing when crossing treacherous terrain. Improves the character's initiative. Shit. Initiative, dodge, chance, and reaction. If a character uses a melee weapon, their dodge reduction is equal to the half of their agility. It also affects the demolition skill. Intelligence. Intelligence is a measurement of the character's human reason and knowledge. For each bonus point of intelligence, characters deal 5% more damage with non-burst ranged area attacks. Also affects the lore imperium, warp, xenos, logic, medicae, and tech use skill. And fellowship. Represents a character's ability to interact with creatures to deceive, charm, or befriend them. High Fellowship will help a character find a way to approach a gathering of unsociable servants or to effortlessly make deals with treacherous merchants. This affects the persuasion, coercion, and commerce skills. No other available following features will be available after origin advancement. So there's a couple talents we get options for: Brutal Hunter, Trusty Weapons, Wounded Beast, Lifetime of Scars, and Tenacity. Brutal Hunter, Death World characters, plus 15% critical hit chance against targets with the bleeding effect, or with 50% or less of their maximum wounds. Trusty Weapons, Death World characters gain plus 10% to critical hit chances for axes, hammers, and las weapons. Wounded Beast, every injury increases the Death World character's agility and willpower by plus 5. Every trauma counts as 3 injuries. Lifetime of Scars. Death World characters suffer minus toughness bonus less damage from fire, toxic damage, and bleeding effects. Tenacity. Once per combat, when the Death World character suffers a stunned, blind, or immobilized effect, this effect is ignored and they instead gain plus 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. So, the characteristics that we get are plus 5 to strength, agility, and toughness, minus 5 on intelligence and fellowship. So basically, if we wanted to play lone tank style character, um, Death World is. We want to play one man army. Death World is it. Um, Basically, just go in with a melee weapon and break stuff. So next we have the Voidborn. Voidborn are humans burst in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. Those who have lived their lives on board ships become inured to some extent due to the reality altering process of warp travel into living in low or zero gravity environments. In many cases, their features are drawn in their skin palette. They may even have minor deformities or a strangeness to their speech, gait, or general appearance that sets them apart from others. They have the fortune feature. A Voidborn character can reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill test with a 20% chance of success. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Additionally, any enemy dodge or parry against a Voidborn character has a 20% chance to fail after a successful roll. Willpower. So this is one of the other ones that we didn't look at. I think this is actually the last of the major 6. Willpower reflects a character's ability to withstand the horrors of the warp, the terrors of space, and the dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in the Coronis expanse. High willpower allows characters to exert control over a crowd or interrogate a heretic. It also increases the chances of resisting negative mental effects and psychic powers. So this one gives us a plus 5 on willpower and intelligence, but a minus 5 on strength. Talents we get on this one. Bloody Mess. Anytime a Voidborn character scores a critical hit, there is a 10% chance to double the damage. Contagious Luck. Using a non-damaging ability on an ally grants that ally the ability to reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill test with a 20% chance of success for 1 round. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Using a non-damaging ability on an enemy grants them a 20% chance to fail a successful dodge or parry test against any character for 1 round. Just a flesh wound. Voidborn character has a 20% chance to survive after suffering lethal damage, surviving with 1 wound. Jinx. Well, a Voidborn character has more than 50% wounds. All chances of all creatures, including enemies, in a 3 cell radius are increased by 10%. While a creature Voidborn character has less than 50% wounds, all chances to all creatures, including enemies, in a 3 cell radius are decreased by 10%. And lastly, be smart. Anytime an ability or talent uses the Fellowship bonus, a Voidborn character can instead use the Intelligence bonus if it is higher. Additionally, Voidborn characters can always upgrade Intelligence even if their archetype does not allow it. Be smart, guys. Um, don't act dumb. Hive World. The hive world's population is so dense that great swaths of the surface of the world are frequently covered in gargantuan cities, bejeweled with towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies in vast manufactories, mine valuable minerals, and refine fuel for the Imperial Navy. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from massive populations as well. Raised from their massive populations as well. Yeah. Strength in numbers. Highvold characters gain +1 plus fellowship bonus divided by 2 who resolved if there are 3 or more creatures. God, there's a lot of math that I was not expect that I had completely forgotten about. And they suffer a -2 penalty to resolve with no creatures around. That's fine though. Very much a I very much like my numbers games. Number go up, make happy. I guess no, not really. Ish. I'm flippant today. I'm tired. For no reason at all, work was just stressful. It was busy, tiring, exhausting. Whatever freaking words you want to use. Fellowship, agility, willpower. Yep, fellowship, agility +5, willpower is -5. We have the camaraderie talent. However, characters can pass willpower resistance tests using their fellowship value instead if the character's fellowship is higher. Outnumbered. If a hive world character has melee superiority against the enemy, effect is increased by +10 per. If an enemy has melee superiority against a hive world character, the effect is decreased by -10%. Melee superiority in melee combat. Any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives a +10 weapon skill bonus. For each additional ally, larger creatures need to be surrounded by more than 2 enemies to provide this advantage to the attackers. Weapon personalization. All ranged weapons dealing physical damage have a have +1 damage, +5% armor pen, +1 fire rate, and -5 to recoil. Helping Hand. If a Hive World character starts their turn adjacent to any ally character, that Hive World character gains +2 movement points. That's what MP stands for those who are unaware. If a Hive World character ends their turn adjacent to allies, they all gain a +2 movement point on their next turn. It's actually pretty good. Movement in this game is actually valuable. Hive World characters gain +50% bonus to dodge against the first attack of opportunity every round. So that's Hive Worlds. Yeah. Unlike Voidborn, I think they're actually more. They give more bonuses to having allies around them and kind of being more focused fire on enemy targets. Forge Worlds. Forge Worlds are the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus, entire planet ceded to the demands of vast macro industries. Each is a manufacturing super complex of unimaginable capacity and power. Over the millennia, different Forge Worlds have become especially renowned for their philosophies or ways of war. These are often colored by the technologies they specialize in manufacturing. Why did I say it like that? I heard that one. Manufacturing. Why did I I'm cringing at myself hearing that. I don't know why I did that. I couldn't tell you. I'm almost certain my mind is slipping it as we speak, reading through all of this, and I don't want to really read through all of this. But I know I have to. For the people's bulk of Forge world's population is utilized as labor force, whilst the fortunate few may be inducted from the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. Forged for a purpose. Forge world characters choose one augmentation system from the following list: subskin armor hands plus 5 plus 2 times toughness bonus, percent armor locomotion system grants plus agility bonus divided by G plus agility bonus, have movement points. Move. Okay. Pick of weaponry. Yeah. I'm gonna be yawning. I apologize greatly. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm tired. Single weaponry gives a damage bonus for um get a damage bonus all the with plasma military power weapons. First attack with it. Fires of the Forge. Forge world characters grant plus toughness deflection against burning effect and flame weapons. Steel of the Forge. While wearing heavy armor, Forge world characters gain plus 1 movement points, plus 1 deflection, and cannot fall prone. Persistence of the Forge. Forge world characters gain a stacking plus 10% bonus to hit, chance, and dodge reduction against any target they hit with a single target attack. Successful critical hits from single target attacks increase the hit chance and dodge reduction by 20%. Forge world characters cannot use Forge world characters can use persuasion, coercion, and commerce based on intelligence instead of fellowship. So basically, we become an intelligence character, not and completely abandoning the concept of the fellowship skill. And we get a lot of really good bonuses in combat. Now that I think about it, some of these are actually pretty good. Um, Imperial World. I apologize immensely. I've I'm just gonna be yawning. Imperial World is one of a million planets united by the belief in the immortal God Emperor, hailing from hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations. The inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the Master of Humanity, and the Imperial Creed is espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are, nevertheless, part of the Imperium. Humanity's finest. Instead of getting a characteristic bonus, we can select any characteristic except for weapon skill or ballistic skill and add a plus 10. So we become hyper specialized. Ready to serve. When an Imperial World character is affected by an ally's non-damaging ability or affects an ally with such an ability, the resolve is increased by fellowship halved for 1 round. Better to die for the Emperor. While under 40% wounds, Imperial World characters gain a plus 10 bonus to all characteristics, plus 2 to resolve. doing my part. If no other characters in the current party has the same archetype as this character, first archetype ability used in each combat by this character costs -1 armor AP action point less. Imperial World characters gain plus 10% critical hit chance and plus 10% armor against Xenos and demonic creatures. Their allies gain half the bonuses of No Heresy. That's actually really good. However, Imperial World characters Lore Xenos and Lore Warp are always Zettel. Stronger together. All allies, excluding Xenos, in the current party gain +5 of Scheiße. Scheiße. People. Oh, wow. Oh, that was fast. Buddy of mine just started his. Buddy of mine who just started new job a couple weeks ago. Is already lead sales position. That's actually kind of cool. I'm proud of him. And a lot of props to him. I also am going to move this over here. Alright. Well, that was a nice little surprise. Anyways, back to Warhammer. So yeah, this becomes very um we very much lose out on the ability to use, characters. However, we do make it a point of over he's is he still putting messages in? Sorry, my attention span has diminished immensely tonight. I greatly apologize. I'm probably just gonna keep saying sorry a lot for the fact that my attention span is slipping because I'm so friggin' tired. Um, yeah, seems like the oh Jesus. I'm gonna mute server real quick. That way you guys don't hear this. Hear the server. God bless it. I'm so freaking drained. Ugh. Like the energy in my body right now is the equivalent of I'm like one of those like nearly empty tubes of toothpaste or glue or something, and you're just trying to like roll it to get that last bit out. That's what it feels like right now. Cripes. Um, the Imperial World seems to really give a lot of like general bonuses. But it really kind of hinders the ability of having Xenos and Warp stuff. Oh yeah, Fortress Worlds. Fortress worlds are where the entire populace is immersed in warfare. They constantly train for the day that they may be called upon to defend the Imperium, a charge they solemnly uphold. Fortress worlds are established as bulwarks against the enemy. Every citizen is a soldier, trained to fight from the moment they can handle a weapon. I will get there eventually. Oh, I didn't cover perception, I don't think. I'm not about to read all this bull crap. I don't have time for it. I don't have the attention span for it. When I next do this, I will hopefully have a bit more energy for being able to do this. But for right now, I'm sorry, but I just don't. I just don't. I'm going in with the excitement of getting to play Rogue Trader again. And that's kind of the only thing pushing me forward. Um, that's kind of it. We got Never Stop Shooting as a feature for them. Each time Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain plus 10 stacks of Never Stop Shooting. At the start of their turn, there is a stacks of Never Stop Shooting percent chance that the first attack this round will cost 0 action points and will not count toward the attack limit per turn. This effect if this effect triggers, all the stacks are lost. Okay. We get a plus 5 perception, plus 5 willpower, minus 5 on fellowship. They really don't like you having fellowship. Talents, combat addict, hail of steel, combat addict. Fortress World. Fortress World characters gain plus 7 to ballistic skill, perception, and willpower. When in combat, out of while out of combat, their intelligence, fellowship, perception, and willpower are decreased by minus 7. Hail of Steel. Each round, Fortress World characters gain a stacking plus 1% bonus to dodge against range attacks for each shot they made during this round. Also, the burst attack grants a additional plus 10 stacks. I'm just not wording. Do I need to change games? Is that what needs to happen? Do I need to change up the games for tonight to something that I can just let myself mellow out to instead of trying to put all this focus? I may have to. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. But I may have to. No, well, getting through the character creation in the first chapter, or the prologue, not even the first chapter, the prologue. Damn it. I knocked something over. I'm tired. Drunk. I haven't even drank anything. I haven't had any alcohol. I haven't had any booze. I haven't had any drugs. I don't do drugs. I just drink. Honestly, I don't. Actually do. I actually don't like. I've tried a vape once and thought it was absolutely disgusting, and have never done anything beyond drinking alcohol. And even then, I don't drink a whole lot of alcohol beyond occasionally a beer, maybe some mixed drinks. On the rarest occasion, a very good liquor, like some foreign drinks are also pretty good. They're pretty tasty. Some like plum wines, that kind of thing. Sake. Um, there's some other ones that I'm completely freaking blanking on, but I don't have the patience for it. What was I on again? Combat Addict or Halo Steel? I don't even remember. Moose! Moose! Help! I'm losing my mind and degrading on stream. Help! Help me! Help me, Moose! Moose. Yeah. Yes, you. You the moose. Who is a moose? The kitty. No, stop chewing on the cord. Come here. I can get up here. I've sat up and suddenly my brain feels like it woke up. I don't know what happened there. I'm. Mm. Moose. Um. Sorry, I think that was just the ADHD and the ADD kicking in for a second there. My brain wants to learn something. It will put every effort in. That's why I'm able to get into why I'm able to get into the tabletop of 40K. But right now, reading all this, I just can't. I think that's also why I'm just a fuck it, why not, and deal with the consequences type DM. Ah, no, cat. She's getting at me through the little slit behind on my chair, trying to freaking claw at my butt. Why are you calling my butt? Hey, be sweet. No, stop it. She dancing around. She playing. What? What? Hmm. All right, we're cool now. Oh. Eh. All right. Returning focus. I think. I think. Um. Hmm. What? I know. You're a moose. Why do you have the necessary need to bite me? Why? Why my arm specifically? What? I'm just resting my arm here, and you have the you feel it's necessary to bite me. I'm not bothered by it. He just decides to bite me for no reason. I go and just decide to try to pet her, and then she wants to bite me. Mean. Alright, well, I'm not about to go through this on the talents scale. Because otherwise I'd just go Imperial World or Forgeborn. Or Forge World, not Forgeborn. Forgeborn would actually be a cool name for a race. Or faction. Or a Space Marine army. Forgeborn. Forgeborn Space Marine chapter. That would actually be kind of cool. Forge. I wonder if that's an actual faction. I wonder if that's an actual chapter. Somebody would have to look that up. But it's not going to be me because I'm not about to deal with it. I'm not about to go looking for it. Um, given the given the character I'm looking to build here, because I looked at this, looked at our glorious character's appearance. It's glorious. His appearance is freaking glorious. Not at all like his portrait, however. Um, it's placeholder. That is exactly what that is. It's a placeholder. It's a placeholder. Because custom portraits are pain in the butt. Void board. However, so if I do one, I'm doing Voidborn, Forge World, Imperial World. And I kind of want to do Imperial World. I did Imperial World on my last one. It's a really good one. You get like nothing when it can. You get like nothing when you. You get like no bonuses for Xeno's characters. Could do a Ford. Could do Forge World. I could do Forge World. I think I'm gonna do Forge. So they have the whole thing with like they get a different cosmetic for them. Imperial World. Mm, do Imperial World. Well, a character perceives their surroundings. Characters with high. Pick out a spray bolter showcasing in between the day-to-day morass of an underhive, or even tell when someone is being deceitful. So if I do any one of these, I'm either going to do intelligent, fellowship, or I'm either doing intelligence, fellowship, or willpower. Will be the ones I do. Intelligence, so that I make a more brainy character, more logic center. Willpower, in case I want to make a psyker. I could use a psyker. I actually want to try a psyker, so I may do that. Guy looks like he'd be a good psyker. He looks like he'd be a cool psyker. Fellowship, if I wanted to actually be good leader character. Um, I think we're gonna do fellowship, just because to me, fellowship seems like a useful skill. All right, now we get our character role. So here's where we choose our origins. We have Astra Militarum Commander. Hmm. Astra Militarum, commonly known as the Imperial Guard, is the prime fighting force of the Imperium and the first line of defense from the myriad threats that endanger the existence of humanity in the 41st. I will speak words, darn it. You have served as one of the commanders of an Astra Militarum regiment, commanding thousands of winning battles in the name of the God Emperor. We get the regimental tactics feature. Militarum Commander and all their allies deal an additional plus 20 plus 2 times perception bonus percent damage to enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies until the end of the commander's next turn. The commander's allies also suffer no damage from allies' attacks until the end of the commander's next turn. Nice. And ballistic skill plus 5 and perception plus. Get ballistic skill and perception plus 5. Also get skill modifiers for athletics and Medicae. Get characteristic modifiers of perception plus 5 and Medicae plus 10. There's a couple options here. I'm not about to look through all those. I've been going for a while on this, and I would very much like to actually get into the video game because this is such a good game. But I'm so tired. And I said I would do a stream today, and I don't want to have to call off. I didn't want to have to call off the stream. Even if I just do this as a shorter stream and go until like I actually start the game, because at this rate I'm taking too much time on the character creation. Um, Commissars of the next one is the Commissar. Commissars of the Officio Perfectus are the ruthless officers charged with maintaining the morale, discipline, and fighting spirit of their Astra Militarum regiment. You used to be one of these faithful servants of the God Emperor, living symbol of imperial authority, regarded with a mix of fear and awe by their subordinates. He does have that like Commissar. He does have the Commissar stash going on. Looking real good. We got Crime Lord. Ooh, he actually looks pretty good as Crime Lord. That's not a. I don't care for how that clips through. Is that as bad over here? Nope. Um. mm, Imperium survives and prospers in no small part due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind and will such as yours could not be so easily constrained. Dark paths of smugglers and renegades that want behind the facade of the Imperium's society offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law. He used to be one of these dangerous yet resourceful individuals. Okay. Ah. Yeah, I don't even think I'd go Ministorum Priest. This one just seems kind of lame. Ecclesiarchy, known formally as the Adeptus Ministorum, is a vast institution that oversees the galaxy-spanning religion of the Imperium. Ecclesiarchy's complex hierarchies of cardinals, missionaries, preachers, and zealous laity. Zealous laity? I guess that's what that word is. I don't care. I don't care enough. Ensure the prescribed prayers and invocations are made, all the while instructing the masses to guard against heresy and deviancy. You used to be one of those fiery and charismatic individuals condemned with keeping a close watch on your congregation. I don't like this one anymore. I don't like this one at all. Imperial Navy is responsible for the fleets of voyage ships that assert the dominance of the Imperium and amidst the stars and fulfill other duties connected to the void and warp travel. You used to be a Navy officer and commander of a voyage ship, hardened in numerous battles and famous for resounding victories. Okay. The noble. Oh, that was actually kind of cool. He kind of cool looking. Mm, High nobility of the Imperium are an enormously privileged and powerful elite, bred apart from the common masses they rule. You grew into adulthood upon a pedestal of affluence and grandeur. The towered high above the common masses. You expected their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil. Surrendered to your family, to who you sur- you expected their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil. Surrendered to your family in solemn fealty. Okay. And lastly, the sanctioned psyker. Psykers are feared and distrusted but are nonetheless valuable assets to the Imperium. The role of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica is to recruit, identify, and classify those found to possess psychic abilities. The most powerful who saw the most powerful who somehow how survive the rigorous sanctioning rituals are selected to serve on the battlefield. Might of a sanctioned psyker is steeled against the manifold dangers risked by wielders of warp powers. You are one of those found worthy to serve humanity and have miraculously survived the perils of the warp. No, damaging psyker powers count as weapons, counting toward the normal attack limit per turn and gaining all the benefits of abilities and talents increasing the damage of attacks. For example, a soldier using the running gun ability will be able to use damaging psyker powers twice per turn, and an operative's analyze enemy ability affects the damage of damaging psyker powers. Sanctioned psyker and the psyker ability. Character is a psyker, albeit quite a weak one. Wow. And then we get all the abilities there. There's a lot of talents we get for this one. This one gets a lot of stuff. It's so much. He very much pulls off the commissar attire. Military guard. I'm gonna be honest, I never really liked this outfit. Hmm. Some of the armor some of the colors make it slightly better. Meh. So Crime Lord got for outfit stuff. Alright. So if I do any of these, I'm doing either Commissar, Crime Lord, or Sanctioned Psyker. And I'll be honest, this guy actually does look like my Psyker character from Darktide. Not gonna lie. I lean hard towards Commissar or Sanctioned Psyker. I like that blue. Not that blue, this blue. I think I want to go with the red, just because red looks good. Or I go black. Black, white, or red? Black, white, or red? Red. Red. So I do that one, or I do that one. very much want to do one of these. Tersternit. It's gonna eat up so much of my time because I can't freaking focus. I'm probably not gonna upload this to YouTube. I may actually cut this one off short once I get the character made. I'll get the character made and then start getting into the actual like game proper, and then I will save. Um, I'll save and then just cut off from there. Cause I'm sorry, but I cannot focus today. I'm not there for it. So what I'm gonna do a commissar or sanctioned psyker. Either one of those. I really want to try the. I've never actually been much a fan of psychers, but the inner heretic in me wants it. Even if it's sanctioned, the inner heretic in me wants it. I like the attires for both of these very much. He pulls this off so well. He pulls off the commissar look so well. Even if I take the helmet off, he pulls it off so well. But he looks good with the hat on. And the sanctioned psyker is ironically better with both. So, going off appearance, I may go with sanctioned psyker. I could go with sanctioned psyker here. Um, but given that I'm from an imperial world, I think commissar makes a lot more sense. I wish I had a third. Wish I had a third voice aside from the one that I make for myself. Wish I had a third and or fourth voice. Uh, Checking in on Cole because I know he said he would be in at some point. Uh, hmm. Uh, okay. Um, Uncertainty settles in, ladies and gentlemen. Uncertainty. I just tried to unscrew a bottle that has no cap on it. We are definitely going to be ending stream after I get character finished. Um, Commissar or Psyker? Commissar, the Psyker. I think I want to do Psyker. I think I'm just gonna do Psyker. Psyker is gonna be a different one from what I normally play anyway, so I'm gonna do Sanctioned Psyker. Uh, and Xenos, my 100% looking at Chaos Worshippers, or Drukari. Uh, Actually, that's not terrible. Being Sanctic Psyker as our first, like, discipline. Psykers of the Sanctic Discipline master their connection to the Golden Throne and support their allies with the Holy Might and stave off demons and heretics. Pyromancy. Um. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, we'll do Sanctic first. I feel like Sanctic is a very very fitting niche one to open off with. Concentration of faith. Sanctic powers are used by pious psychers to protect allies and smite heretics. We get Word of the Emperor, allies in circle, 5-cell radius, gain. Okay. Light of the Emperor. Allies affected by Word of the Emperor are healed for that amount. Psychic power can only be used while there is at least one ally affected by Word of the Emperor. Hammer of the Emperor. Um, ally Allies affected by Word of the Emperor gain the Hammer of the Emperor effect. Next time they deal damage, this damage is increased by plus 5 times Psyker's Psi rating. Allies resolve half, and the effect is removed. Sword of Faith. Power costs 50 momentum and can be used when momentum is 175 or higher. To end of combat, the weapon in the Psyker's hand is replaced by a sword made of sheer will. Sword has a single target attack and an area attack like a two-handed sword and can be used to release a cone of fire or a line of fire like a flamer. The damage of this sword is the same as that of Purge Soul, with all the same bonuses. The Psyker used a force weapon, all the bonuses from that force weapon remain for the purposes of talents and other bonuses. The Sword of Faith counts as a force weapon. The power can be used again, increasing the damage of the sword by Psyker's resolve. Um, I do think we're gonna go Sanctic. I think Sanctic 1 is gonna be what we go for. Triumph. Summon the mystery of a powerful. Psychically active Xeno artifact. You managed to destroy the creation of countless enemies of humanity. Illustrious Glory single-handedly saved a pilgrim ship by stopping a warp breach traveling through the imperium. Power of your sorcery crushed a demon of the arch enemy and drove it back into the warp. I think I'm gonna do Illustrious Glory. I'm either gonna do Illustrious Glory or Apex of Brilliance. And considering I don't have a high Lord Xenos, I think that's gonna be what we do. Grim Portents. Logic. You were accused of being possessed by a warp entity, forced in exile, leaving your soul forever scarred. Sorcery caused a warp manifestation aboard a void ship, claiming thousands of lives in the end. Shadow of Torment. An error occurred during the sanctioning process. Brought you many hours of agony, which nearly cost you your life. We're gonna do Shadow of Torment. Archetype. Because I'm playing a warrior here, I think going with a soldier early on is probably the best way to start out. Willpower is a given to max out, so ballistic skill, weapon skill, fellowship is 40. Actually, we'll drop weapon skill by 1 because I'm not going to be using a lot of melee attacks early on. So we'll do the bonus for fellowship. Alright. See, archetypes. So now we get our void ship. We have the sword class, the falchion class, and my personal favorite, the firestorm. Firestorm class. I love this thing. This is actually the deluxe edition. This is the deluxe edition. The deluxe edition reward. One of them, at least. There's actually quite a few, but this is one of them. It's a good looking ship. Such a good ship. I think I want to use this one because I like the Firestorm's look. Arsenal class frigate is a modification of the sword class, designed to fire strikes against larger enemy ships, not shying away from engagements with a superior opponent. Estimated dimensions: 1.8 kilometers in length, 0.3 kilometers abeam at the fins approximately. Estimated tonnage: 6 megatons approximately. Estimated number of souls: 25,000 approximately. Is that saying it? No. Von Valencia's flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valencius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. Flagship size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, Xenos, and heretics in the Coronis expanse. Numerous Von Valencius rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Valencius dynasty. So, for sake of not having to give a shit here, we're just gonna random name. The Unforgiven, Daring Destiny, Destiny Hunter, Mercy of the Stars, Charybdis, Victim Erebus, Seeker's Haven, Apex Predator, Atonement of the Abyss. See the stars again. Redemption Inexorable. First Forged. Fatum Audacium. Guardian of the Brink. Unbound Avarice. That's not a bad one. Righteous Absolution. Oculus Ignis. Inexorable. Arcanum Redemptionist. Unforgiven. Trailblazer. Mercy of the Stars. Patient Fortune. Glorium Libertatum. Harbinger of War. Keep seeing Unforgiven. Charybdis. Harbinger of War again. Charybdis. Redemption Inexorable. Void Treader. That was a new one. All Factors Repentance, Seeker's Haven. Exile of Calamander. Fear of the Faithless. Man, Servant of His Glory. I do like running through all of them just to see what the possible ones are. Eye of Providence. Maybe. Do we call it the First Forge? No. Light in the Void. No. Invictum Erebus. Harbinger of War. Void Treader. Inexorable. Calamantron. Righteous Absolution. Glorium Libertanum. Seeker's Haven. Fear the Faithless. I actually want to go for right. Solution. Apply. Next. We give our rogue trader a name. Shall name him Darius because that is the name of Damien's grandfather through my own personal fucking lore. Screw it. What's that? Darius, our rogue trader. Actually, looking at him, no, we're not gonna go with Darius. I know which character this is. This would be Callion. If you were playing, we were doing a psyker. It is Callion. Callion would be the type to get into. He would be the one who played 40k. I feel like at least he'd be the one. All right. Well, here it is. This is our character. Our lore warp absolutely sucks. Well, it's baseline. It's not even. It's not that it actually sucks. So he actually managed to get it to even out. So, all right. Then let us begin. I apologize greatly for taking so long on character creation, just because I was fluffing around. Okay, let's do this.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor sublimity.
You are in dialogue. Here you can learn more about current events, influence the character you're speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. Character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue options are displayed on the right. Select the. Okay.
That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with the chance to give their very life for the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias, at your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Name is callion. So as to avoid any misunderstanding, I am a sanctioned psyker.
I am aware of that fact. It would have been unacceptable negligence to have overlooked such a detail when compiling your profile. Fate bestowed upon you powers of witchcraft, and a duty to use them for the good of the Imperium. Yours is truly an unenviable lot. I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear
Hmm?
it with honor.
Who it is? One of them. Some person joined. Ah, you're actually here. Ah, I may actually be able to survive the next hour and 20 minutes.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Wish I had wish I had working sound effect tracks. Otherwise, I'd be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Christo." Or some. Wish I had
Just
actual working.
like the Johnny Carson show.
It's something like that, I guess. I don't know. I have been literally over here decaying in brain power, trying to get through character creation for this. I'm just now starting the game proper, so all the character creation stuff is finished. You, which that took up almost 2 hours.
Well, that's
It was
I mean, when I make a character, it doesn't normally take that long. So,
I mean, it doesn't for me either. At least when I know what I'm doing. But I had to look through some stuff that I didn't that I were not familiar with initially, and
what is it?
was
Your first time playing Rogue Trader?
third time,
Uh,
for second on PC, third total. Because I did do a playthrough when the game first released. And that one I actually played a commissar, and like when I tried it on Xbox, um, I am doing a sanctioned psyker. So
hmm.
basically, I'm a space wizard.
A space wizard.
I'm a mix of
You
a wizard and a biotic in one.
are you from the moon?
Uh, considering I'm from it, considering my home world was an imperial world, um, maybe. Because part of the character creation process is picking a home world. Um, so
We are going to steal the moon.
um, okay.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis at the time when the first rogue traders entered the Gold Emperor's service, and therefore it is sacrosanct. To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals.
I'm
I
gonna be honest,
locate
I've
the
never
weak
actually seen
links
gameplay of
and
Rogue Trader
exploit
before,
those
so
of others.
I mean, if you've seen stuff like Divinity and Pathfinder
Baldur's Gate.
Kingmaker, Baldur's Gate, all those kinds of games, similar concept.
Oh, okay.
It's a CRPG, so you have the top-down tactical combat, the narrative, the big emphasis on choice-based narrative progression,
Fair enough.
um, and the emphasis on character freedom with the narrative. Um, right now, I am talking to the. Right now, I'm talking to the Master of Whispers for the uh, Lord Captain Lady Theodora von Valencius, who
Hmm.
apparently has summoned me as one of the two candidates for the heir of the von Valencius legacy, which is
What is it
a
with the clothing that they're wearing? I don't recall the outfits looking like. Is this like early on in the 40K realm of things or something?
no, not really. This is actually after Fall of Cadia, so we're deep into 40K. This takes place after Fall of Cadia,
Yeah.
so this happens well after the events of. This happens well after things start kicking into place where timeline starts going out the window, and
Is this before or after Dark Tide?
this would probably be. I mean, with how hard it is to gauge events of 40K, it's hard to know if this would be during or this will be during at any point, or if it would
Because
actually
based on the
be.
uniforms looking more like
Well, you have to remember that
Victorian,
the.
Victorian era.
Well, you have to remember that I am in a. We're not dealing with like the guard here. Like we are getting to see we're getting to see a wider breadth of what 40K is about. Getting to actually see the wider 40K universe, and the Imperium does have a big emphasis on it. The nobility does have an emphasis on like 16th, 18th century, 16th to 18th century, like fancy nobility attire. Fancy
Based on the options you have for dialogue right now, I'm assuming that Rogue Trader is a company.
rogue traders are actually a So think of them like this: they're basically a government. They're basically privateers for the Imperium that are given the ability to um they'll actually explain a lot of it in here, so I will save the trouble of explaining it myself here so that it doesn't get repeated in the game, because I know they will go through the details of like what rogue traders are about, and you learn a lot of what they do, playing a lot of the narrative for the game.
Hmm.
But to summarize it briefly, they are basically a group of sanctioned privateers for the Imperium who go about moving a lot of cargo, exploring the expanse of the galaxy, and sometimes are given ownership of entire planets.
Damn.
Um, it's widely regarded that if there is one job in the 41st millennium that you would want, it is always gonna. People will always say rogue trader.
Really?
Dude, you're basically getting to do what you want so long as you don't break the rules of the Imperium. So long as you don't break the Imperial ties and you don't, like, forsake the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
You actually get to go as far as interacting with other Xenos, despite people not really caring for that. People in the Imperium not caring for that too much. That's still a thing you can do. You get to see all the things that normally the Inquisition or the Ecclesiarchy would uh, try to cover up or hide. You get to deal
Huh.
with all the crazy forces of chaos and the different gangs and even the threats of the Drukari, who are basically elf space pirates, basically evil elf space pirates
Oh, okay.
with a big S&M kink and body horror kink.
Oh.
We're not going to talk about where we'll get to see them later in the game. They do get mentioned some point in here, but I'm just gonna play the game so that you get a bit more of an understanding of what's going on here.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on
Fair
board a
enough.
ship.
Fair enough.
No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Ah, suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do
Can
not
it not
incur
yawn?
her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. There is, and you will meet him soon enough. So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth
Oh, there was an update for
null
Void Train
and
that added
void.
musical
By
instruments.
order of the Lord
Hmm.
Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve
And they
the rogue
rebalanced the
trader,
sharks.
indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium. But from now on,
Oh, it
a
tells you how
different
to
fate
defeat the sharks
awaits you.
now.
Yeah, we'll say
While
that this game
chosen
is
for
very close
by the
to
Lord Captain,
Divinity.
I advise you to come
It's
to
very close
terms
to
with this
Divinity
reality
more than
as
Baldur's Gate
quickly as
here.
possible.
Um,
We really need to finish that Divinity playthrough that we started when Beans thought it was a good idea to accidentally heal the magical
I'm
puppy
not letting
devils.
him get over that. I want him to understand that that's the one thing that I'm like, you really
Beans,
did that to
help
me.
us, revive us, and then he revives the fucking crocodile instead, and I'm just sitting here like,
This is why Beans is not allowed to play healer.
well, we're fucked.
Beans is not allowed to play healer. I'm going forward with that.
He
He's a
cast that one.
good, he's a
He kept
great
casting his
DPS.
support spells on.
I feel like Beans does well as a DPS or tank. Give him a support role, he'll try to do it, but he'll get flummoxed.
Oh man.
Alright, well.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora.
When
I
the
imagine you
crossplay
have
actually
many
comes up
questions
for
about
Baldur's Gate, we
Beatrice,
also need to
and
do
I'm
that.
sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable
You can
that
make
you
a
haven't
kazoo?
yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far.
It's also, what's funny is you can actually play this game cooperative.
Really?
Yeah, the only real difference is you only really get the other people involved only get to play as the retinue, whereas the guy hosting the game is usually the Lord Captain. So the rest of the party plays as the named NPCs and everything, and the host plays as the player character, essentially.
Hey, if you wanted to at some
The
point, I
Lord
think we should
Captain
try
and
and
Master Reginald
do another
von
Void Train,
Valentius are
like give Void
conversing
Train
on the
another
observation
chance.
platform. Let us join them.
At some point, maybe.
I was just reading this these update patch notes, and I guess we never got this far to begin with to understand it, but uh, the sharks can get mutations, like they can change and get different abilities, and one of the new mutations that they can develop is a long tongue that lets them grab you with it and pull you off of the train and into the void. And I don't like that.
Mm.
I always have a backup plan.
But I would like to give this game another shot at some point. Now, as far as Rogue Trader just makes me think about actually trying to finish my playthrough of Baldur's Gate that I've never done, which at this point is sacrilegious considering how many people have done it and how many people have played Baldur's Gate that I know who just absolutely love it and are obsessed with it. If I have to hear one more girl talk about fucking
Asterion.
Astarion, I'm going to, I don't know, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
something.
do a thing.
I'm gonna do a thing.
Mm.
I went to see my sister the other day, and even I had no idea that she was even interested in Baldur's Gate. And suddenly she's talking about Astarion, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Oh dear.
Challenges make the spoils that
You have been
much
ambushed. The
sweeter.
battle begins. To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you'll have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. Okay, no. We're just... Nope. I'm just not even going to do the tutorials because I'm going to just figure them out as I go. Oh, he missed. You done goofed. Oh. Oh, that's not okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. How many action points do I have? Oh, I've got enough. Do a running gun.
Taking calculated risk is in my second nature. It's as good as done.
And we We get a second shot because run and gun.
Yay!
We missed the second one.
We love second chances.
Oh, these guys and their poor little las guns. No, don't do that.
Oh no.
Conrad, do a thing. Preferably that does not involve me, getting the clap for it. I'm just gonna go over here.
We don't want anybody getting the clap. That's not family friendly.
I'll go ahead and pop this. Oh, they're all dead. Conrad, are you actually gonna do something here?
I don't need luck. I have strategy. Who if not me?
I'm so glad when I get my better pistol.
On it.
A better pistol and a weapon I can actually do things with.
Of course.
Nope. And he dodged all of those.
Die!
Do something that he can't dodge.
It's as good as
Like that?
Yeah.
I won't stand for it.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment.
There's some kind of commotion going on. I need to find out what it is. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have blocked all passages between the upper
Don't
and
get
lower
shot.
sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
No one is allowed to enter the premises. Stations.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
A lot of weird interactables.
Keep your wits about you.
It's just some goddamn teenagers causing a commotion.
At least that's all it is.
Those goddamn teenagers are out there causing a fuss.
Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically
I
an
swear I
admission
hate
of
those
heresy.
damn teenagers.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy
You know,
me.
back in my day, I was never a teenager.
No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Did you know that I emerged from the womb as a 77-year-old man?
So we actually have our survey. Now the first bit that does not require a lot of like dialogue. Now, as some rating comes in to help with descriptors, First impression of Edelthrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants in
Ugh.
bone. Sinew implants in bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tick, and the jerking movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form.
That description sounds absolutely horrendous.
What apropos for 40k. In stark contrast to Edelthrad, Theodora von Valencia's features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edelthrad. Between, behind the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer.
Well, look at
Second candidate has joined us. The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched forces you to look at Theodora. The rogue trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and oppressive. Callion,
Ooh.
approach and give me your answer.
Consider this hypothetical situation.
predatory and
Ion
aggressive.
6. A new world
Predatory
on
and
the fringes of
oppressive.
the Corona's
Oh, oppressive.
expanse. High
Either way.
seismic activity, regular
Ma'am, that is
magma
not okay.
eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that
Hey, yo, what
protect
the
those
fuck is
who
up with
offer
that
their
hairdo, dog?
sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might
Remember
say,
what you said.
but attempts to install aura
I mean, I
chambers
guess,
have
but
failed for the second time.
Jesus Christ.
The mining crew sent to the planet's
Is that
surface
you on the
simply
right?
vanished overnight.
It's the placeholder portrait I got.
Question to you is, what would
I
you do
wasn't
with
gonna
this
bother trying to
poisoned
pull up a
treasure?
freaking custom one.
Hmm.
So she has proposed a hypothetical situation regarding a world with high seismic high seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install or extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Oh.
So I have the option to use the Lore Xeno skill, which gives me the option those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. I have a lore warp skill which also comes into play here. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. And there's this one. If I could use my personal abilities to ascertain whether there was sorcery on Ion 6, it would require going down to the surface in person. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interests first. No matter what means I would have to use, the riches of Aeon 6 would be mine. It must be purged. For the good of the Imperium, I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. I do not know, are all the options I've got. Um, I feel like there was another one that came up here, but we'll do the Xenos.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence. even among his flock, not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely...
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Thread bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. Okay.
So, why are you here?
Theodora's gaze follows him as he leaves. Then she turns to you. So, Callion, why are you here? There are questions that I wish to have
You
answered.
are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. There can be only one.
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good
They must
feeling
die.
about him as a candidate.
Hmm.
Bloodright alone
There can be
is not
nobody
enough
else.
to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Did I hear you correctly? Master Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Hmm. If you are satisfied with Edelthred, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis expanse.
You know what's wild is I think it's been long enough that I've actually forgotten how she sounds, what her voice actually sounds like in here.
It says in your profile that you
Yeah.
bear the brand of sorcery.
I mean,
Albeit
sometimes that happens.
sanctioned sorcery that is permitted in the service of the Imperium. I am accustomed to the presence of psychers at my side. More than that, I value their unique abilities highly. Perhaps that is why I am so intrigued by Edelthrad's candidacy. A rogue trader psyker could achieve great things indeed. However, psychers are fragile creatures, and as such I would rather have a replacement standing ready in the event that something happens to Edelthrad.
Mm.
Moreover, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the Von Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better.
Well, thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Navigator translation? What are these things you speak of?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars.
So if you ever wanted to know how space travel works in 40K, listen up, Cole.
Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing
Yeah.
into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Geller field, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds
I
of
mean,
years in a matter of weeks.
that looks fairly
sometimes in days
standard
or
issue though
hours.
for this
That
kind
is
of
how
thing. I
humanity
mean,
spread across the galaxy.
there's always
That
like
is how we
this
were able to
idea
build
that
the
in
imperium,
order to
which
actually get
stands
anywhere
beneath
in
the
space
stars.
in a reasonable amount of time requires you to be able to go warp speed, and going warp speed
Oh, no, 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 no,
based
no, no. This is not going warp speed. This is quite literally entering a dimension that is basically hell.
I mean,
We quite literally travel through hell to go to where we're going.
it's so basically what you're saying is you're essentially just jumping into another dimension and then moving and then jumping out of that dimension.
And ending up in in so long as the Geller fields work, the route goes as planned, or we end up there several weeks or centuries in the past, or several hours or decades into the future.
So time travel.
No, because no warp bullshit.
But that's
Warp.
you know what I mean.
Let me put it this way: you can't understand the warp.
Oh,
You
in the
can't.
words
It's
in the word
literally the realm of chaos.
in the words of the doctor, it's all just wibbly wobbly, timey wimey bullshit. He did
Basically.
he didn't say bullshit, but I added that on there.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly nonsense.
Yes.
But, yeah, that is how that is how, space
That
travel
is how
works in
you warp
40K.
do.
That's how you warp travel. That's how you travel in the warp.
The Rycad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
Bet.
I set the course for Rycad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
So then I guess what are my current
Observe,
responsibilities?
learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes,
Had to sneeze.
consider yourself my aide.
Mm.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being
This
possessed
is
after all.
it's a lot of fucking dialogue.
Lady
I mean,
Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything.
It's
she
a lot
learned
of
from the
fucking
whispers of her
dialogue.
unseen advisors. This ship is
yeah,
thousands of years old. It
it,
has
it's
hidden nooks
this is
where
why I
ancient
say it's
entities
closer
are
to
unused compared to
Pathfinder
what we
King.
learned from the
It's
speak of
pretty
specters
much like
crawling
Pathfinder
into our beloved
Kingmaker
heads and
in
plotting against
the
those who
way
yet
the game
live.
work, the way the actual video game is, where you kind of have to read through the dialogue in order to understand what's going on.
Is it weird that it also gives me like vibes of like the first Fallout a little bit, just a little bit.
I mean, that's where a lot of the CRPG style, I think, branched from.
It gives me vibes of Fallout 1 and 2.
In that case, I shall head to.
I think they may have actually updated some
Disturbances
dialogue
reported on the
bit.
adjacent decks.
It might
Seneschal,
have.
Because I
know.
don't even remember most of this dialogue happening.
It is
And it
possible.
hasn't been that long.
Start with dialogue. Is it
It
okay?
hasn't been that long for this.
Look, I mean, not to hate on the Yakuza games because I know people love the Yakuza games and people
Beans.
may give me and people yeah, Beans is one of them and they may give me shit for this. But you know, if you can get down with the Yakuza games, that's fine. That's, you know, your
Oh hey
opinion.
look, oh hey look, Heretic Uprising.
I will respect that. But there is way too much goddamn dialogue and cutscenes in the Yakuza game. I feel like playing a Yakuza game is like 90% cutscenes with some bits of gameplay.
Ah, Beans has also joined.
He must
Not Yakuza.
what?
He was listening in on the stream and started hearing you go on about Yakuza.
I knew he was coming to be angry at me.
So you better backtrack before I come out like Martin Luther and nail 200 reasons to your door as to why you're wrong.
Ah,
No,
shit.
but it's fine. I understand they're not for besides yeah, I mean I understand a game being completely in subtitles can get a little bit
I mean, if it was in English, it might be a bit different because I could get through the cutscenes since there's a lot of them. But it being completely subbed, it's like I don't like sitting there and reading all of those damn subtitles just to understand what's going on.
Mm.
I mean, to be honest, there's times where I read the subtitles and I still don't know what's going on.
Which, by the way, they robbed us by not continuing to dub those games, considering that Mark Hamill was the voice of
Wow. I got an achievement for dodging 500 shots.
who did Mark Hamill voice again?
He voiced Majima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, and you could have had I think it's cute. I think it's the first game. Well, yeah, I guess it was in the first game. We have Majima voice, so you just have Mark Hamill just popping up throughout your entire journey.
Wait a minute. Didn't Majima show up in the most recent one that had dub?
I think so. Question mark?
Was it Mark Hamill?
I have no idea. I didn't play it. I'm still on 4.
Mm.
Just because I've got a goldfish attention span, so now I've come back and I'm enjoying Pal World now for some reason.
Oh, it's Matt Mercer that does Majima in that game. I mean, I like Matt Mercer. I'm not gonna shit talk Matt because I do actually really like Matt, but He's not Mark Hamill.
I mean, it's. I feel like you could say the same thing about Troy Baker in Arkham Origins.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
That
That's
is
true.
very true.
But that is true. However, Troy Baker did do a very good job as a younger version of the Joker. I'll say that because I think you mentioned this, Beans. Mark Hamill's fantastic as the Joker, and I wouldn't want him as anybody else to do the Joker. But the older he gets, the more gravelly the Joker becomes.
Well, see,
Which is nice, but like when you're trying to do a younger Joker, you don't want that graveliness.
well, see, it works for Kevin Conroy because Batman just has a gravelly voice.
Oh, I mean, he just makes Batman sound fucking older and more pissed off. But
Pretty much.
And I mean, it really worked for Batman Beyond when when he was playing old Bruce Wayne.
yeah,
Of course, he's a little bit, he has a older, gravelly voice to him.
I think Michael Ironside voiced Batman at one time, but I could be wrong.
If he did, I don't know which one he did.
No, it wasn't Michael Ironside. It was somebody else. So he's another great actor known for those kind of roles. He was in the Chris Pine Star Trek movies. He was in Into Darkness. He played the Admiral.
He was Darkseid in the DCAU.
Who?
I think Michael Ironsides was Darkseid. I
Really?
believe. Yeah.
Sam Fisher was Darkseid. Well, that makes sense.
I believe it.
I mean, he was good. He had a.
I mean, I can't hear Michael Ironside though without hearing him try to call for Lambert or something like that.
What is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding.
Okay, yeah, I was right. I just wanted to, I wanted to fact check, so I didn't put out false information.
Yeah.
Is this a case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
Yeah, they've definitely added more dialogue here. I don't remember any of this dialogue here.
Just let them shoot it. We'll shoot one another. What the hell is up with all the dialogue?
Well, maybe it's just a Mandela effect. There's just always been dialogue. You just never.
Man, it
noticed.
maybe. I mean, it's been what, almost 6 months since I've played this game. Well, no, hasn't been that long. Because I did play it at some point before on console.
Peter Weller, that's the name of the actor that did. Peter Weller's the name of the actor who did Batman in Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises, I think is what it was called, or something like that. It was the animated.
Is that the
Dark Knight Returns? Isn't that what it was?
Is that the older Batman?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was good.
Where he beats the fuck out of Superman and does the speech about, "I want you to remember the man that beat you."
Yeah, that was good. I'm surprised you didn't talk about the the breathe, David, breathe when they're in the.
Yeah. That's another great actor right there. He was in the Fallout series. What the fuck is his name? My dad knows that actor because he was in Lost, and my dad absolutely loved Lost.
Arch militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics
I
along the
can't
way.
remember his goddamn name now. Michael Emerson, that's who it is. Michael Emerson, great actor, and I think it was Michael Emerson that did the Joker in that one, and he did a great portrayal of the Joker. I thought I was Batman's psychotic obsession.
I mean, that was an actual good joke.
It was, yeah. Do guests get to keep these?
Then it's settled. Find
Such a
Eldrad,
serious
bring him
thing.
here.
Could you imagine if somebody actually went on a talk show and
This elevator
said, "That's okay, I want
leads to
people to get
restricted
me.
compartments such as my personal
That's
chambers
why
and the
I'm
bridge.
gonna kill
Not
everyone
let
in
you
this
down.
room."
I require you both. Do you understand?
And they think it's a joke.
Yeah, they did that. It's called Joaquin Phoenix and the Joker.
Hmm.
By the way, how in the hell do you break your own neck?
Well, I mean, Batman had already started the process. Joker just finished
Are
it.
you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even
So
yet
I'm
get the
assuming
keys.
that's the explanation, but
Hmm.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs.
You know who I think could have made another or
that is
voiced a
no
really good
longer
Joker? Now that I think about it,
who?
um,
Hmm. Oh, and we got stabbed.
That's never a good thing. You probably shouldn't let that happen because that's really not good for your health.
Especially being that I'm a psyker,
oh,
and we're currently being hit by heretics.
Oh, well, I mean, you know what to do with heretics. We
I
don't
mean,
really
I
tolerate
do.
them.
I mean, I know especially what to do with them, but that's
I had to think for a second because his name escaped me, which is
aye,
absurd.
ow.
But Anthony Hopkins.
Careful,
Anthony Hopkins is the
careful.
actor
Be
that I think
gentle with our
was
Anthony
made
guest.
Hopkins.
He has an important
Yes.
mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber.
who played Hannibal
For
Lecter
that, I
in
need
Silence
him
of the
breathing.
Lambs and a lot of the other
Ah, you
movies
are
that they
back
did,
with
like
us,
Red
I
Dragon.
see. Delightful.
I guess he could.
How
Like him giving the monologue
I'll
that
help
he
you
gives
next
to
inside.
Clarice in
I need
when he
you
first
here
meets her,
for your blood. You have the
and
option of sheriff or
she
the
introduces
towering.
herself, and I
I
just
will
want you to,
squeeze it out of
do
you
this or whatever, and he gives
myself.
this whole monologue
We
about like
are in the anteroom of the
psychoanalyzing her,
Warren Chamber. This
and
voyage's most hallowed vault. There,
that whole
beyond those
bit
gates, lies
gives
the
me
realm
like
that gives
I could
Theodora
see him like
all
voicing
of her
Joker and giving
power.
like a monologue
The
like that type of
sacred
vibes.
warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel.
I mean,
An
would you
ancient
have him if they ever
device
did like a
that
live
only
action
opens
Killing
doors to
Joke
a truly
movie?
No, Anthony Hopkins is far too old now, at least, to do. Now, when he was younger,
Will offer your blood to the
maybe,
Sentinel.
maybe not, but
Because I'm just so if you have young Anthony Hopkins, I'm thinking like well, I'm
I feel
mostly
like we
thinking
have a
like him
couple. I feel
doing
like I
the
have a couple options for the current scenario I am stuck in.
him doing the one bad day speech where uh you know what I'm talking about. The all it takes is one. Oh, I don't know why I did that. All it takes is one bad day to drive the sanest man alive
On
to
the
lunacy. That whole
contrary,
speech.
the
yeah.
wolf's blessing has
I mean,
raised me too much above your kind. Far
Use your
from
powers,
business.
Andrew.
The Sentinel refused to submit to me.
Oh, coercion.
But
Hmm.
you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Wretched piece of Grox shit. Okay.
Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence?
I like
with your
I
blind
think
loyalty? Oh,
Troy
I'm
Baker
not
did a bit
so
of that speech
But thanks
or
the
that
gods
monologue.
it no longer has
Yeah, because
Uh,
power over me.
I think
at
he did
a
at a convention.
Humanity
at a
can
con.
rot.
Yeah,
I no longer serve
they asked him to do
mortal
his
kind.
Joker voice.
Once my work
And
is done,
this
I'll
was
make
after
that
the game had
pompous
come out, so he
wench
was able to
von
do it,
Valencia's
like a
watch
lot of
as I
it.
sacrifice her
And it was like
entire
just
dynasty
after, and they
and
asked him
commit
to do
their
the
fate
Joker
to the
voice, and
gods.
he did
And you will be
the monologue about
instrument by
memories
which I will
from the Killing
accomplish
Joke
this righteous act.
as his Joker, and it was really good. And then him and John DiMaggio had a Joker laugh off.
Tell you the truth, I think I like John DiMaggio's Joker a little bit more
Oh, I
than
do too. Under the Red Hood, he was a fantastic Joker.
Hmm.
when he's taking the crowbar to Jason. He's like, which hurts more, A
Or B.
or B?
Forehand
Forehand
or
or
backhand.
backhand?
Oh, hey, we actually succeeded the tech use test. Careful
Yeah.
inspection design of the gate cogitator would immediately catches your eyes a strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of
How
which are
about that?
unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. Basically, one of the archaeotech being like ancient Earth relics. Basically, the technology and uh, resources and stuff that would be common for us, but not in the 41st millennium.
Is it weird that I can remember most of what John DiMaggio says as the Joker in that movie?
Servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of
I mean,
metal,
I mean,
it leans forward, closer to
man,
you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp, metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. Vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green backboard. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Whitefoot wounded you with this blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. And the sentinel.
I'm
Sorta
still
looks
looking at
noticeably
the
different from the
way
ones
here.
you're used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of these standard joints. Seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit was much longer than that of an ordinary automaton's.
Well, I wouldn't stick my hand in there, I can tell you that much.
Look for anything you can use as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. I look
Did
back.
you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and place it on the maw now, because I don't think they're gonna give me much of a choice.
Uh,
Sentinel's
Do it.
jaw Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat. And immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus.
Oh.
The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand what this quiet voice is coming from. Crackling like static, is it the Sentinel? The Cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Given I am very much in pain and everything is bad.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Pain
how
shoots
would
through
you
your
rate your
head and
pain?
subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Fuck makes a door that's like a saw trap just to get in. If you want to get in my door.
Welcome to 40K, Cole.
What would you not do that? What if someone tries to break into your house?
I mean, this is also the reason why.
Look,
Because
I'm gonna be real with you.
otherwise we open up our turret closets and unleash the flaming pillars.
If I was at work,
I always keep
and
my
you know,
options open.
working where I work and working many places, sometimes you have like a little key card to get in, and sometimes you have like a little, what's the word? Like a little key fob type thing. Like there's always something.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade and bestow upon them a paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first in the darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph
That
over
is a
nightmares untold,
giant
to
piece of
hold
paper.
boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily. You're not gonna let me read? Alright, game. I wanna read!
Escort
You
the
play
I'm a
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I thought
safety.
I want to learn!
you don't need to learn.
Just let it speak for itself at this
you
point.
just
Shush.
click the button and things happen and pretty effects happen. That's the way it's always worked.
Escort the child. No, destroy the child.
Several Skull's creaking gradually turns into comprehensible words. Escort the child of the house to safety. Madness is happening here. Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment
I
unavailable.
have a free chicken biscuit from
Unable
Chick-fil-A. I need to go
establish
get that in
two-way
the morning
connection.
before it expires.
I need a weapon. I'm utterly
Distance from
defenseless
the
here.
current location to the nearest
I mean, you can use a
arsenal.
chicken biscuit as a weapon.
Initiating situational calculations.
And 40k, I don't think that'd help you very much.
Alright, well, I guess this thing can't do much other than help get me out of here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of
And that's actually a good question. In 40k, is it not is Chick-fil-A not Jesus's house of chicken? Is it the Emperor's house of chicken?
If that were the case, probably.
The only thing that survived is Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A survives well into the 41st place.
It'd be that or Waffle House.
Well, I mean, it's like you walk into the mess hall, or whatever, on these ships, and it's just like, hey, there's a Chick-fil-A right in the place here.
You know, I thought about this earlier with GTA 6 coming out next year, and based on the little gameplay leaks, we clearly know that there is going to be an in-game version of Chick-fil-A, or not Chick-fil-A, I'm sorry, Waffle House. There's going to be an in-game version of Waffle House, since it's in modern-day Florida.
Master, whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber?
I mean, you gotta go fight in it, so.
I mean, the leaked gameplay for GTA 6 that, you know, I mean, this was a while ago now, but it showed them robbing a Waffle House, so...
Serving the gods of the war. Kunrad is a heretic.
I'm very curious if it'll come to the Switch too.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Beans. I don't think GTA 6 is coming to the Switch too.
Well, I mean, less ridiculous things will actually. I have no. You don't know what can happen at this point. Actually,
I mean, you just now got Red Dead Redemption on the Switch.
well, that's because
That's an older Rockstar game.
But it's not like it could. It's not like it can't run. It's not like it couldn't do it.
I mean, to be fair, if I had a Switch, that would be one of the games that I'd have, because it'd be great to play Red Dead Redemption while in the car, or on the plane, or on the toilet.
I mean, I enjoyed. It's not a bad looking game on the Switch. Actually, I mean, it looks pretty good.
We have proper weapon. We have a las gun. We have some armor in the form of a flak chest piece, flak chest plate, and a med kit. All right. Inventory.
By the light of blood.
I refuse.
Nope, you're not. Oh no, I can't do that on him. Okay.
Oh.
Quip.
Sir, your
Quip.
portrait doesn't have a beard, but then you have a beard. I don't...
Look, it's the Look, I can't do. It's like Divinity.
Did you steal his armor?
No, he gave me armor.
Oh.
He gave me a suit of armor and a las gun.
I was about to say, I thought you swapped armor with him.
No, I tried to get the. He gave me a set of armor. He gave me a las gun, so now I have a gun and a way to defend myself.
Okay.
So now
Look,
we have to take
it's not
control
stealing,
of
it's borrowing. There's a
Abelard.
difference.
Let me help.
It's borrowing without the intent to return.
All right.
Look, my
I will lead us.
We are the spearhead of the
my
Imperium.
all-time favorite thing to swap with a companion in any game is giving Dog Meat a pair of welding goggles and a bandana because he can wear both of those, and it is the goddamn cutest thing.
But that is the least of our
Well, I mean,
problems.
if this was like maybe if it's like the '90s, he'd be a sassy sidekick in a 3D platformer.
The situation on the middle decks is much worse. All those strike teams have already been dispatched.
No, I mean, I thought that would be a bad thing. That'd be pretty
You
pretty
mean
neat.
like Clank or Daxter?
So
So long,
Probably,
man.
yeah, I guess so.
we have no information to go on.
Hmm.
I think I've heard that they're either remastering, remaking, or making, in general, another Jack and Daxter game. But
I've heard a remaster. I've heard a remaster pop up quite a lot.
Now, I know the Sly Cooper games are making a comeback on PlayStation because, so if you're subscribed to the premium tier of PlayStation Plus, you get access to the Classics catalog, which originally was just the replacement for PlayStation Now, where you could stream PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 games. But then they started to make versions of those games that you could just download instead of streaming, which is nice. So, like, there's a lot of PlayStation 3 and 2 classics that you can just download and play rather than having to stream them. And coming to that collection as a downloadable game is, I think, the Sly Cooper games, like this coming up month. And I'm very tempted to upgrade my subscription for the rest of the year because I think it's like $30 to do it. But I'm very tempted to upgrade my subscription to the premium tier just so that I can download and play Sly Cooper, because I absolutely loved the Sly Cooper games growing up. Sucker Punch does not miss. They just don't miss. They made Sly Cooper, they made Infamous, they made Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, they always make good games.
And that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
I mean, I can't vouch for that because I don't think I've really. Actually, I don't think I've played a single game you just listed.
Because they're all
God Emperor preserve me, navigator.
PlayStation exclusives.
However, I've spent
Yeah,
my time
well,
on board void ships equipped
there's
with
this
warfare.
word that starts with an
And I
E,
know
it ends with an
reports such as
N.
these do not bode well.
That
It could be that the Gellerfield
What?
is falling. Perhaps the
there's
navigator
this
is
magical
trapped
thing that's on
and is fighting for the
PC,
last shreds of his humanity as we speak.
Oh,
right?
do you mean emulation?
If we get thrown
Don't
off
say
course,
it. Nintendo
we
will get
be
mad.
forever lost in the war.
Nintendo's not here right now. They can't hurt
Naturally,
you.
we would likely not have long to live in that scenario.
He's
I will not resign myself to
he's
such
not
fate
wrong.
just yet.
Nintendo seems to put more attention on the YouTube than the Twitch side.
Yeah. And I doubt that they would pop up into this stream
That is about a 40K game.
that only has 2 people watching.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, freelance. You mentioned the E word. We're gonna have to shut you down.
We know that you don't really have much going right now, but we found out about you. You mentioned us. You mentioned emulation. We're gonna have to give you a cease and desist.
For the navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the sanctum must
I mean, it's fine. I mean,
Only a navigator
I mean,
can withstand
it's fine if you, as long as you're,
For the rest of us, any
what is
contact
it?
with the warp is
I mean, as long as
vital, such
you know
as
they're your own
processes,
games, you're not
spontaneous mutations.
acquiring them from other places. You know,
Oh yeah.
you purchase your own games.
Yeah.
Loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor!
Goodbye,
Fight the heresy and
Moon. I'll
corruption
see you
that
next
thrive to
June.
consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up.
You know what game I'm looking forward to, and it's gonna sound strange because of their recent track record.
While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to
I
fight
am
in her
I'm
subjects,
kind of looking
you
forward
and
to that
I
new
shall prove
Legends
that our customers
Arceus, or not
will
Legends,
deserve.
Legends game, the new Pokemon Legends. Well, because for some
Z to
reason
A.
Pokemon Legends Arceus was not a bad game. It didn't look the best,
Uh
but it performed okay. What do you mean? Uh-oh.
oh. We gotta kill some. Gotta get ready to kill some mofo's.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
But
But excuse me.
yeah, it's fun playing a
Avalar.
game and just having the company not really use any of those features in a mainline title.
Yeah.
I always appreciate it. And then somehow the new mainline title runs like significantly worse than that game, and they just never fix it.
There's just certain games that come out these days, and they come out like absolute hot garbage. Like, I mean, I don't.
Yes, but this is this is the biggest, most profitable media franchise in the world.
I am ready for whatever comes.
I mean, yes.
And I'm not taking the excuse that the Switch can't do it. I mean, the Switch can run friggin' Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. You can even run The Witcher 3 at an acceptable frame rate.
You do have an excellent point.
Yeah, it was rude.
I mean, The Witcher 3 doesn't look
Yeah, but
outstanding, but it's I mean it runs okay. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy is on the Switch too.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 2 of the 3, but not all of them.
Killed them all.
Probably that's the worst part. It's just everything about the game is fine, except for the performance. The rival's okay. The mechanics are fine. It's a little bit different story, so it's something new to the Pokemon mythos, but it's just the performance just kills it.
Somebody made a tier list for the Far Cry games, and I slightly disagree with their tier list. But they literally put all of the Far Cry games, Far Cry 3, Far Cry 2, the first Far Cry, 4, Blood Dragon, Primal, and 5, all in A tier, and then put Far Cry New Dawn in its own tier at the very bottom of the tier list called fucking trash.
I probably wouldn't put. I would probably put 5 in maybe B or C tier. It's purely because of the ending.
Where would 3 fit in?
3 is S tier, and you can fight me. I don't care.
What
3
about
is
4?
I
I'll see to it
uh
personally.
I think 4 is fine where it is, because I mean 4. I tried playing 4, but it's just
You put 4 above 5?
On it.
well, I say well, that's a true point. I don't know if I'd put it there.
I mean,
You know what? Actually, I'd probably switch this around because I think Far Cry 5 is probably. I would say it's better than 4 because 4, at least I could see. I don't know if I want to say it's because of reused animations in 4, because I could see the ones they've stuck with from 3, but I don't know. I like
He
4. I
has the
like
las
5 more than
pistol.
4, but I like 3 more than both.
He's got a sword.
Sword. I swing my sword for you.
A lot of swords.
But the first two, first two I can't say anything. But I never played the first 2 Far Cry's.
Well, we get our level up before we get our first level up.
That's nice.
I mean, honestly, Ubisoft could just remaster 1 and 2 or remake it and make gangbusters, but they're too busy with their quadruple A $70 freaking
By the
skull.
way, I'm gonna go ahead and say this publicly and have it out there just in case. If anyone from Ubisoft ends up watching this stream, I'm just going to tell you that you should be very, 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 very disappointed in yourselves. You have gone from a company that I supported and was very much excited to play your titles to you are now on the same level as EA to me, and EA is hot garbage. I just want that to be known. You have the potential to be better, Ubisoft. Be better. For God's sake.
Oh, that'll show them.
Be the company that I remember you being. Don't make what you're making right now.
Don't be an even worse EA. All right.
Now I see. Now I see what you're saying, and I say, no.
All right. So before I get too far into this, because this is the point that because it's nearing the about 10 minutes away from ending off the stream. I think this is where I'm gonna call it. Because I'm planning on ending it off at 10:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and save game. Make sure that it's actually set up and saved. And we'll jump back to main menu and give our little roundup because fuck. I would have been able to survive longer doing this, but I I was brain dead throughout the entirety of character creation.
And then you had to sit through all of that unnecessary fucking dialogue.
Well, I like the dialogue in this one. I like learning about. I like hearing about the lore in 40K. I like hearing the story in 40K. So for me, I mean, I didn't have to read as much of it, so that helped. There was a lot more of the voice acting, at least from what I saw. Because again, I don't remember all the voice acting for that.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being as much voice acting in that. Which I do greatly appreciate for this, because I know like Abelard, I don't think Theodora and Edelthrad had any like dialogue. Like it was only the NPCs and certain like named characters like Voigtfer, like Conrad. Those are the only ones that had any actual like dialogue to them when I last played this game.
Yeah.
But obviously there's others that we haven't met yet. And I'm interested to see if there's actually more that have gotten dialogue lines for certain storylines. Because there are actually some really fun and really interesting storylines in this, and I'm curious how many I'm gonna remember and how many I'm going to suffer through trying to finish. Because there's one of the weird, like, random event bits that when we get to it, I'm either gonna be very glad or hating life at the fact that I chose a psyker to play as.
Hmm.
But I like my psych. I wanted to play a psyker as a new playthrough because I did it on console, and obviously I have no intention of going back to Xbox at this point, especially after what we discussed last night. I
Yeah.
have no reason to bother even booting up my Xbox for the exception of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Um, I might as well just pick up everything off my PC now. Buy that crap off Steam. But I mean, I'm enjoying all the same. I am enjoying this game immensely. I'm excited to play more of it because this is probably gonna be a longer playthrough than Bolt Gun.
Yeah.
Because we've already finished the first chapter of Bolt Gun. I know you guys missed out on that Wednesday. But I did get through the first chapter. So next week we will be starting chapter 2. So if you guys want to tune in for that one, you guys want to tune in for the start of that one, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
Because I think that's either going to be Monday or Tuesday. Um, Probably will be Monday because I may do something different for Tuesday.
Ooh.
I may do something different for Tuesday. Um, I may end up doing like a Stardew stream or some kind of other like playing
Something
around
to
with
mix
video.
it up a little bit.
Some mix it up kind of game. That way my formula is not getting my formula is not getting stale, and I throw in some oddballs to screw with the algorithm.
Hmm. You don't want to get typecast as a
I mean, I don't mind if
Warhammer guy.
I don't mind if I get typecasted, dude. At this point, there's not. At this point, the inflation of Star Wars YouTubers exists enough that I don't need to worry about it. There's enough Dragon Ball and anime YouTubers out there, so I don't need that. 40K might be where it's at for me right now, especially given all my fascination and the fact that what if I actually get the setup for it and I actually get better at it, um, I may actually look at getting into doing paint stream. I may once in a while do a paint stream for models I buy up for my
Okay.
physical armies. Just kind of something to chill with when I don't want to do any kind of gaming and I just want to come home and fuck around and relax.
Sit there and paint the models.
Yeah. Just get the
That's
camera.
nice.
Just get the camera. Pull it up to set it up at the desk and just kind of chill with model painting.
Oh,
Because I know with all my, because I know with all my army, I know with the models I plan on buying. Because my codex comes in next week. Sometime Wednesday or Thursday is when I should have my physical codex for the Chaos Space Marines. I'm excited because once I get that, I'm gonna start looking at buying up both boxes of the combat patrols for we'll look at buying both the boxes for the combat patrols and get to actually army building. Because both of those box sets should give me enough that I want to actually like build something. I've actually thought about trying to paint my army a certain kind of color scheme. I thought about some ones to try to do, and I want to hear what you think about this idea for it, Beans. Because I know you're like the only one here who sees all the models, and we play on tabletop sim and whatever. But what do you think about the idea of doing my chaos army with a red and with a sort of like um, black, red, and gold scheme?
I mean, you'd have to draw. I mean, I would have to see like like a physical idea of what you're looking at. If it's
I mean, when I actually start working on it, I will be able to show you. Because I'll probably do a couple like test runs. Because obviously, I will follow my dad's technique because he paints a lot of models, so a lot of his technique I'm gonna be using a lot of his advice and getting him to show me a lot of the ropes with it. So when I actually start building when I build my first combat patrol and get them painted out, I'll show the first box fully painted, to show off what they'll look like after, and get them once I have them painted out to where I like it. My primary idea is like I said, going with some kind of like black, red, and gold style. Going with like the typical gold trim most Chaos Space Marine Legions use. Um, and having like black a black primary armor with some hints of like red marks on there, or maybe even going with like a maroon, some kind of like maroon or dark red color, and have like a dark crimson type color going on. Because obviously I like my world eaters, and their color scheme is kind of just like a red and it's like a red, orange, and gold, or red, orange, and gray.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of doing like something similar, but with like um, maybe maybe like a red, black, and gold, or red or black, gold, and red, or red, gold, black, red, black, red, gold. There you go.
Okay.
Kind of do like primary, cause I look at the color schemes as like primary, secondary, tertiary, or primary, secondary, trim. It's kind of how I look at armor designs when I look at with Chaos Marines, because they have a lot of like this gold trim to. They have a big emphasis on having a like big gold trims to them, which for the people who paint Thousand Sons armies, lot of credit to you. You will never catch me doing it. I will pay somebody to do that before I suffer through all the small gold lines. Screw that noise. If I paint Thousand Suns, I'm doing them with one of their freaking alt legions. I'm not doing base Thousand Suns unless I get Magnus or Aramin. My only excuse to bother with that. Just like when I get Vastor. When I get Vastor, I'm gonna do him up in the typical color. I want to get him actually painted in proper colors, or find out some ways to do like special color schemes, like name characters or whatever. Because name characters are very cool, but trying to paint named characters, pain in the ass. So
This is why you will never catch me painting those kinds of things.
this is another reason why I primarily use tabletop sim, but am looking to get more into the physical game. Because I just, it's cool. I like it. It's something that intrigues me, and I figure if I can actually convince Riley at some point to join in, I may be able to get some fun with that. May have somebody who, in person, I can somewhat consistently play with. Set all my models up in a travel case to actually move them around in. Bring my army over to his play. Bring my army over to his house, or have him come over to my place, and we just have our armies duke it out. Because I know right now he's dealing with my niece, so he's having to deal with newborn.
Of course.
So a lot of his time is being eaten up. I know he tries to make as much time as he can, and I'm not faulting him for it. But I know it's his thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. Any final words for people at home?
Stay in school, be cool, and don't do drugs.
Beans,
I don't have anything.
don't have no final words from you.
I guess take care of yourself. Go to the gym, eat healthy. That's about it.
Some health advice and life advice from the both of you. I'm about to break all of that and say don't do any of. You can do whatever the hell you want. Have fun with your life as you want. Enjoy it as you want. Just so long as you are not just so long as you are not doing lots of crime. Don't do crimes. It's not okay.
Crimes.
I'm not gonna get super specific because I know what I want to say in that regard, but I'm not. I will post I will have the VOD for this up on my YouTube channel. So for those who don't see it here, you'll be able to see it on. For those who don't get the chance to catch it on Twitch, you'll catch it on YouTube. But also for those who see this VOD on YouTube, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/freelancer0, and tune in Tuesdays and Wednesdays every week, and occasionally Mondays and Fridays for various games. Right now, I'm riding a 40k high, and I don't know when I'm going to ride off it, but I'm trying my damnedest to sift through my 40k library. Tune in next week. Monday will probably be some other game. I don't know what it'll be. Monday will probably be either more of this or Bolt Gun. Tuesday is more than likely going to end up being a mix-up. Maybe some Stardew. Maybe something else. I don't know. Wednesday probably going to be... Wednesday will probably be the alternate of either Rogue Trader or Bolt Gun. And Friday, if I stream Friday, we will see. Depending on what my schedule looks like, because I have not actually looked at it yet. I will try to be doing I'll try to go all 4 days next week. Otherwise, I'll try to at least do 3 of the 4. than my usual days are. So thank you all so much for watching. Do the follows and likes and subscribes, and I will see you all in the next video. And see you all on Twitch next week. This has been the Freelancer, signing off until next time. Good night, everybody.